Okay, the time is hello everybody. Uh, it is Saturday, November 22nd, 2025, and I'm calling this meeting of the Libertarian Party of Indiana State Central Committee to order at 10:33 a.m. Madam Secretary, if you can call the roll.
Chair McMahon,
Present.
Vice Chair Seniak, absent. Treasurer Dixon,
Present.
Secretary Dasbach, present. District 1 Schick,
Here.
District 2 Cotton,
Here.
District 3 Avery,
Here.
District 4 Lundy,
Present.
District 5 Schillings,
Present.
District 6 Lomax, was absent. District 7 Glass,
Here.
District 8 Haynes, absent. District 9 Curran, absent. Communications Director Smith, Tech Director Schultheis, Outreach Director Kokolard,
Just
Okay.
said in chat, I'm present. My audio cut out.
I see that. Do we have LNC representation today?
We do not. We have no guests in the galley.
Okay. Quorum is
Okay.
confirmed with 8, 9, 10. My apologies.
Okay, adoption of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as submitted?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Schillings. Is there any objection to the agenda? Hearing none, the agenda is adopted. Mr. Schick, can you be timekeeper today?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Officer reports. Busy month, but not like anything like super great. Got most of the membership cards sent out, had some family help. Miss Avery was going to come down multiple times, but I had things that popped up each time. And so, but she was valiantly willing to come down and help get the membership cards out. But we did get most of them out. There's some from October that haven't gone out yet, and none of the ones from November have gone out because we do those in the next month. But most of those have gone out. Had a couple of times working with Ms. Schillings and her campaign for Secretary of State, doing donor calls where she's actually calling and I'm assisting, helping, guiding, which I would do for any candidate seeking our nomination. And I do believe that that was fruitful, that it was beneficial. Responded to quite a few interesting emails that we got from people and phone calls from people concerned about various state and national political things. A lot of Republicans upset over the Indiana National Guard being sent to other cities for, crime prevention. A lot of people upset over the continued push by the governor and lieutenant governor and the president on redistricting in Indiana, even when Republican legislators have said no, they're not going to do it. Lots of fun stuff like that. That's occupied considerable amount of time is responding to people who are interested in that. Um, I'll let the treasurer talk about the bank stuff, but we did stuff yesterday, which was fun. We all got together for that. Um, any questions for the chair? That's mostly what my month has been like. Okay, hearing none. Our vice chair is not present today. So Mr. Treasurer, Mr. Dixon.
Thank you. Just quick updates. I sent out the report. I've been sending out kind of a variety of different reports each month, just so you kind of get a flavor. So this most recent one that I sent out was just the last 60 days or so of, transactions, a P&L report, money in, money out, just by transaction. I'd say that we're pretty much stable, even a little bit ahead because, even though it's kind of break even, a big of that, like 1,800 of that was for the convention costs. So, that also a very busy week as far as just getting everything done that it was on the to-do list for the treasurer. So getting the added to the bank accounts. I can't say enough about Michael Schulteis, by the way, and how much he's been doing. Now, the deeper I get into it, the more I'm doing the reporting and stuff, he really was doing a lot of stuff. So thanks to him. So we're wrapped up there, and I have Stripe access, so I can reconcile all the books now. So we're in good shape, other than Michael just has to file at his leisure in the outgoing treasurer's report with the state, and then I pick up from there. So nothing else to report. Thanks.
Additionally, because you didn't mention it, yesterday we went to the bank. It required both me and Michael to be there to add Mr. Dixon to the bank account. But so he's officially added to all of the bank accounts now. Any questions for the treasurer? Okay, hearing none, Madam Secretary.
I've submitted everything that I updated in the report that I sent out earlier, so I will relinquish my time to others.
Okay. Any questions for the secretary? Hearing none. LNC update. I don't know that there really is one. The credential, and I don't have all of the numbers from across the country yet. But the cutoff for membership allocation for selecting for determining how many delegates each state gets was October 31st. There have been some data issues. Indiana being the leader, found out those issues, figured out what some of them were. National staff has been working diligently to fix that. The LNC secretary must submit to all of the state chairs by the last day of the month the full list of both presidential vote total and member allocations for delegates. So staff hopefully will have that done very, very soon, the final numbers, so that can be sent out to all of the states. And that's when we'll know. There were quite a few people missing. There were also multiple people who were counted multiple times as members. So like if your name is, I don't know, Greg, but it's also legally Gregory, and there are multiples for you, they were counted as individuals. So those got cleaned up. There were, a few other ones like that. Don't know where exactly we're going to fall in the delegate number, but we're going to have probably close to 33 to 35 delegates. We'll still be in the top 10. I don't think we made the top 5, but we'll see. Let's see. The Judicial Committee reviewed a challenge to the Special Investigative Committee report. That was the thing about the former national chair and some of the things that happened. Continued effort by some folks to try to undo any statements about the former chair or the actions that were taken, including this Judicial Committee appeal. The Judicial Committee had their hearing. There were briefings on both sides. There were amicus briefs from some people. There was a few hours of a hearing of questioning. And in the end, on all counts but one, the Judicial Committee rejected the appeals unanimously. On one of them, instead of it being 7-0, it was 6-1, but it was still rejected, just So only one of the counts was rejected unanimously. Hopefully that puts that matter to rest. I highly doubt it. There's several more months before the convention. I'm sure that there will be more things like that. Apparently, when the national secretary is in a Zoom meeting and says something spicy, it causes a bit of controversy. Just FYI. Apparently, I did that last night. I didn't cuss. I just said, no, be quiet. And apparently, that angered a couple of people. Anyway, any questions about the LNC National Party? Mr. Lundy.
Very briefly, is there any discussions or appetite for potentially doing like hiring an accounting firm to do some sort of forensic audit so that we can kind of put some of these financial questions and problems behind us and move forward?
So on the LNC side, the actual LNC side, not including the JFC, the Joint Fundraising Committee, on the LNC side, that's already been done, continuing to be done. That's not where the majority of the dollar figures were at, but there were some. There was enough. It's the other one that hasn't been in at this point, there is not a majority that would be in favor of it. There are some who are, but not a majority. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, Mr. Schick.
Most things are status quo here in District 1. In our last meeting, I think it was Liz Kokelar brought up the name of a woman named Amy Hamilton who's moved to Gary. And I'm wondering, Mr. Chairman, you said you might reach out to her. And did you? And is there any follow-up I should do with her?
I did on Facebook and I did not hear back from her. So I'm assuming that because I don't have any contact info, so it was just on Facebook. But I didn't get anything from her. I know that Liz, you did send me the email? On Messenger. Was it just to me and you, or was it in like one of the groups? Okay. I didn't see that. So I will look for it. Oh, Mr. Lomax is here.
Okay. All right. So I'll do the same thing. I mean, I'll try to ping her on Facebook and
Why don't Liz, can you send it to Mr. Schick too so that he can reach out to her as well?
yeah, if it was on, she sent it to everyone or yeah, Liz, if you could just resend it, I'll contact her. But otherwise, like I say, status quo in District 1, Porter and LaPorte counties have regular meetings. Lake County is still affiliated, but doesn't have regular meetings, and nothing special has been going on. So unless there's any questions, we'll move on to District 2.
Okay, hearing no questions. District 2, Mr. Cotton.
Quiet month here for us in District 2. Still having some issues with Marshall County. Does look like we may need to move forward on disaffiliating them. St. Joe County, we're looking at moving our monthly meetings to Saturdays, just to be able to accommodate with other people's schedules. That's been kind of an ongoing struggle, but that's really all we have for news out of District 2 right now.
Any questions for Mr. Cotton? Okay, hearing none. Miss Avery, District 3.
Thank you. I sent out my summary in an email. Hopefully you all got it because I was having some struggles with that. Not much going on in our district either. I didn't bring it up during the treasurer's report, but I'm just wondering how the status is going on distributing triple membership money to the districts or counties.
Mr. Dixon, would you like to respond?
I apologize. Can you repeat the question? I apologize, Christy.
I was just wondering if there's been any progress made on distributing triple membership money to the counties.
You know what? Thank you for reminding me. I apologize. It fell back as a priority, and I didn't get to it yet. Now that we have Stripe access and the reconciling and the reports are all done with Michael, and that handoff is pretty mostly complete, I apologize. I can move that back up to the top of the list and start looking at the payments to counties. We did have a spreadsheet built a few months ago that kind of reflected it, so it should be pretty easy to update. I can commit to getting that calculation done by our next monthly meeting.
Awesome. Thank you.
No, thank you. I apologize for the delay.
Any questions for Ms. Avery? Hearing none, District 4, Mr. Lundy.
Not a lot new here either. I think district-wide, we dropped like a couple of members. I've actually contacted one of them. They should be getting it fixed if they haven't already. So and that's about it. 1994 donations remain steady. So no news, really.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Lundy? Okay, hearing none, District 5, Ms. Schillings.
Thank you. Hamilton continues to have regular meetings, third Wednesday of every month. Our annual convention has been scheduled for January 25th of 2026. It's a Saturday and tentatively to be located at member Ronnie Dixon's residence in Carmel. We are planning a county social on our next meeting instead of a regular business meeting of December 17th. So it'll just be just a social gathering at that time. And I have not heard updates from my other county chairs, even with diligence. And we have lost a member in our district since the last month. And I need to do some research on that. I know Ronnie said he did do some phone calls for us, contacting individuals in Hamilton County about lapsed or memberships that have not been renewed recently. That's all I have at this time.
Okay, any questions for Ms. Schillings? Hearing none, District 6, Mr. Late Lomax.
Sorry, working man Saturday. So there's not a whole lot updated on District 6. I will say that we're getting ready to go to some county council meetings and raise a stink about them wanting to grant a additional 15-year tax abatement on a property that just got off of a 10-year tax abatement and then left Greenfield and left an empty building. So it's going to be 25 years of no property taxes on that particular building, which we don't like property taxes, but we don't also like the residents having to make up for corporate welfare. So other than that, DACA is still kind of tabled on the Greenfield City Council, which is or DORA, not DACA, DORA, which is like the designated areas where you're allowed to drink and, buying licensing so that people can drink on public streets and stuff like that. Bunch of government overreach stuff. Larry has kind of pinpointed that Irvington's also trying to do the same thing in Marion County. So we're going to try to reach out to Libby, who's next, and see if Miss Glass and the Marion County folks want to get involved in any kind of protest with that. But other than that, we are still tentative on our date for our convention. Yeah, that's it for District 6 for now.
Just a brief thing about, because this is popping up all over the place. And so I want to comment briefly during this period about DORA, because people think that it's something that it's not. People think that it's a way to legally allow people to open carry beverages in public areas. There is no ban in the state of Indiana. There is no law preventing that. Indianapolis and I believe Lafayette have local ordinances banning it. They are not enforceable unless you are also being charged with public intoxication, which is where you're drunk in public. Not just drinking, but being drunk and disorderly in public. There is no ban anywhere in the state or effective ban. What DORA does is it creates this false narrative that you can't have an alcoholic beverage in public. And it says you can, as long as you purchased it from one of these establishments who buys special cups or special stickers that have an included font or fee that the establishment pays that they charge you. In that area, you cannot have a beverage in public that is not stickered or licensed. This is the way they get around it and create this effective ban. So DORA should be opposed, and I'm really glad that Hancock County has done a lot to stop DORA in a couple of places. But it's a false narrative. They're like, oh, we'd like for people to be able to drink outside in the bear garden and walk around outside. And they can't already. You're just trying to create a new fee and a new tax. That's all it is. So anyway, any questions for Mr. Lomax? Okay, hearing none. District 7, Ms. Glass.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I told Larry that we would be for Dora. And based on that explanation, we are against Dora in Marion County. So I appreciate that. And I will remedy the explanation that was given at the meeting last Wednesday in Marion County. I will send out an email to the members that came to that. We would be willing to help with District 6's interest in that as well. So go ahead and contact us and we'll set something up. And I am going to send one of my members over who is very gung-ho about learning how to campaign to Lori's door. And I may even suggest to him, because we are not doing a December meeting, I may suggest to him that he go to your social meeting next month. But other than that, that is all I have. Any questions?
Okay, hearing no questions, that would be it because the other district reps are not here. So we will move on to director's reports. Mr. Smith isn't here. We've been doing a pretty solid job again on getting, news coverage, front page coverage. We've sent out a couple of press releases or statements for candidates. Actually, I don't think we have this month. I can't remember if we did, if it was this month or last month. So doing pretty good, solid on communications. I think our social media team has been doing really well as well, but we'll talk about that in team reports. Any questions about comms that I might be able to answer since Andrew's not here? Okay, hearing none. Tech, he's also not here. I think he sent a report. There were 2 auction items on that list that revolve around tech. One of them was the domain names being transferred from Michael's account to the state party's hosting account. He informed me that that had not been done yet, but that he would work on it and try to get it done before the end of the month. The same with the review of the phone system and our needs and what the current system's capabilities are and options. He said he'd have that before the end of the month. Let's see. 2 things with tech. We had fallen behind again on our payments for our management for Civi. I got those payments caught back up. There are some states that are also in Civi that want to partner together to do development on expanding Civi. Right now, on the Civi side of things, our developer, Andy Burns, just got the SOS file, the voter file, and is creating a better way of tagging people by district and precincts for a push for that. And he's just doing that. I didn't ask him to. He's just doing it, which is nice. It's something that we asked for a long time ago, I think when we were back on national system, but it was complicated because there were differences in states. and how those were done. And I don't think it ever got done for us. So I think he's just updating it and doing it now. Any questions about tech? Okay, Miss Coquillard for outreach.
Not too much to report this month. I haven't done much work on the educational program that I've been working on this month. Um, but I have been busy on committees. Let's see. I've been reaching out to possible speakers for convention, and on communications and social media. We're going to start a what is a libertarian segment. I think it's very needed since we have some confusion in our comment sections quite often. And I also had coffee with Kate from Indivisible. She's part of that progressive movement, mostly seeking to elect Democrats, but they wanted to reach out locally and see how we could partner together. And we basically focused on three things: mutual aid and voter registration. And what was the last one? Civic education. So while there's other things that we definitely agree on and can work together on, those are the specific areas we thought we could start in. So she's reached out to every political party in the area, and the Republicans obviously didn't respond, but everybody else seemed very interested in seeing where we could work together, cross lines, and so that's awesome. So that's really all I have.
Any questions for Ms. Coquillard?
What is the mutual aid topic? Just briefly.
So we were meeting before the shutdown had ended, and we were talking about the SNAP beneficiaries not receiving their benefits and things like that. But like victory gardens, just ways that we could, or just ways that we could work together to, keep things more local. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
As an example of mutual aid during the shutdown, I was seeing a lot of really cool reports about people starting food banks in their front yard or in the
Yeah.
garage to help people in the community. And that's like a libertarian example. Like that's spontaneous order, people coming together to help each other without a government mandate.
Exactly. Yeah,
I was
one of
really
my
hoping the shutdown would lead to more of that and like maybe it would last longer
Yeah.
and show people that communities can support each other
Yeah,
without government bureaucracy. And then the Democrats
exactly.
caved and got
Yeah.
nothing.
And got nothing. So like I was actually one example that I had brought to her, and I was trying to get started because of the shutdown, was a backpack, just because I mean they know exactly which kids are, on
Yeah.
government assistance. So pack a backpack, send it home with them, have a week's worth of food in a book bag. It's not that hard, but that was an example of something we had talked about. So
Mr. Lomax.
Yeah, so this probably goes more towards communications or social media, but outreach I think is involved in it too, or should be. Are we doing anything about the provision that they added to the end of the bill that got approved, as far as the THC variants and stuff like that being illegal again nationally in a year?
I
No,
did.
because it was already done here in Indiana. So it's already been illegal. There was a store right down the street that got raided and they're empty now. Like they just shut down. So no, we didn't have a state response to it, but there was a national response. Press release and a statement went out about them slipping in removing hemp from the farm bill that they passed back in 2018. But no, there wasn't a local one. I know that I think a couple people put out some statements individually, but nothing came from the state party about it. But we did have a post. I think there was a social media post that talked about it. Okay. moving on to convention, our committee reports. Since Mr. Vice Chair Siniak isn't here today, I'll try to lead this as best I can. Some fun topics. The Friday night venue, I sent them the check and I sent it again. So 2 or 3, I think twice. This time was when in a padded envelope with a tracking number. Monday they told me they hadn't got it yet. And I went and looked, and yeah, no, it was delivered the beginning of the week, the previous week, and it said delivered. And so I was like, well, it says delivered, and it says to an individual. And they were like, well, do you have a signature? And I was like, no, we didn't pay for certified mail. And she was like, well, we can't find it. And I was over it because that's the second check, and this one was with tracking. And so I was just going to be like, well, you're going to have to wait until Christy decides she wants to come down to Indy, and then she can bring a check back to you. And then the next day they were like, oh, okay, we found it. So that was Tuesday. They found it. Theme for the convention this year is radical empathy. I really like that theme, practicing radical empathy. Let's see. I know the team is currently working on gathering speakers and trainers. The website listing is up. Tickets are available. We don't have the vendor booth set up yet or sign up for vendor booths, but I should have that done in the next couple of days for the team. Any questions? Yeah, did Thomas Quieter confirm? Yes. Okay, so Thomas Quieter,
It's Tweeter
Quieter.
from Mobility Independence Foundation. So the MILF, yeah, Mobility Independence. I always think MILF.
I mean, that's what you typed was MILF.
Yeah, I sure did. I sure did. It's MILF. That's how I remember it.
Yeah. So if you don't know who Thomas
Autocorrect is killer.
He's basically lives in a wheelchair. You've probably seen him at a lot of like the national convention and things like that. And they have an organization that helps get builds ramps, gets cars that have, for people who are in wheelchairs or have limited mobility to be able to, move around, live their life, do things like that.
Yeah, they basically have come up with open source technology that, I mean, instead of taking years for somebody to get a wheelchair that is made specifically for their needs, it could take, a month, and at a quarter of the cost, just a couple $100. They're partnering with colleges all over the place. They're in, and I mean, it's amazing. But basically, he's going to be coming and speaking on where libertarianism meets business and just the nonprofit work that they're doing. So,
All right. Was there anything else about the convention that I Miss Avery?
I was just wondering about sponsorships and who has been responsible for that in the past.
The entire committee, for the most part, reached out to people. So it was like the chair and the vice chair and like maybe one other person. I have not had that on my agenda. So I have not sought sponsorships. I'm pretty sure we're going to get one that we normally get. It's kind of up in the air for that one that we always get. They have less capacity right now. But we'll likely get that one. Any other questions or topics about the state convention? Okay, hearing none. Madam Secretary, did you want to talk about the bylaws stuff? Bylaws committee?
Sure. Back in July, there was some commentary during our meeting regarding like delegate counts and how we let me rethink my words here. Who's automatically a delegate, who's not. And I know that we discussed that if our SOS candidate receives 10% or more of the vote, that we would need to likely make those changes anyway. So I know that it was tasked or asked for us to consider what that change might look like and send in a proposal. Again, I have not heard back from a couple members of the bylaws committee in order to try to work that out. I just wasn't sure if we wanted to go ahead and try and do that this year, or if it was something that we need to consider for next year.
Don't even remember this. The only thing that I remember talking about was actually at the post-convention meeting where it was creating new roles for some of the officers, specifically the vice chair, because we amended the vice chair to not be on every committee, or we wanted to do that. I don't know if we actually did it. I can't remember. That was the only thing that I remembered. Right now, our bylaws have I I can't remember if the chair's an automatic delegate, but we do have LNC members as automatic delegates. No, they're not. They're automatic delegates to the state convention. That was what it was. Okay.
Yeah, so like the items that I see that I had listed here were, if an LNC member resides in a state, they should automatically be a delegate, and the four main officers should automatically be delegates. Was kind of the commentary that was made with regard to restructuring that bylaw.
I think that like we talked about, because now I'm remembering it, probably should do that. I don't know that it matters for this coming national convention and our state convention coming up, but it may be something that we want to do now for the future.
Okay. And that's the clarification that I was looking for. So I will continue to work on that and getting a proposal over. And that way
Mr. Silvers from Hancock County has proposed proposals. And I'm saying that in the kindest way I possibly can. He's made suggestions of changes he would like to see to the bylaws, but didn't actually submit bylaws proposals. Like he
Okay.
didn't submit the amendments. It's technically not a requirement for the bylaws committee to draft amendments on behalf of a member. The member is supposed to provide those amendments, and then the bylaws committee can help make suggestions on changes and conformity. And then the member doesn't have to accept those changes. And then the bylaws committee makes a recommendation to the SCC for the order in which they should be presented to the body during the convention. But so you might reach out to Mr. Silvers in Hancock County to ask him if he wants to submit them. But again, and I've tried to make this very clear, it is not a requirement for the bylaws committee to write amendments on behalf of a member. The bylaws committee can also do that if they so desire, and they can take up their own items if they want. So if the committee wants to make a change to the bylaws, the committee can submit their own bylaws amendment during the same process. If you were to do that with Mr. Silvers, and that happens, and he made this, the chair just needs to be notified by the deadline that they were submitted to the bylaws committee. That's the only stipulation. Because the rules are the chair gets the bylaw amendment proposal and then sends it to the bylaws committee, which is kind of stupid. And we should actually probably change that so that it just goes to the bylaws committee. I don't know why it goes to the chair first, but that's technically the rule. I think it's just to make sure that the timeline is being hit correctly. I don't know.
We're at time. We're at time.
Any other questions about bylaws? Madam Secretary, did you have anything you wanted to add?
My only question would be, do you have any idea what proposals to the bylaws Mr. Silvers is presenting at this time that you can share?
I do. There's like 9. I would recommend reaching out to him or Mr. Lomax directly and
Okay.
asking.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to team reports, branding. We haven't done much in the way of the branding, but I also have not gotten any feedback, written feedback on specific local and state and federal policies that people would like turned into rack cards. Not just telling me them in a meeting or Facebook messaging them to me, but maybe creating a Google Doc or sending them via email would be handy. That way there's a record of it being done. Ms. Schillings, did you have anything you wanted to add from the branding committee? Branding
Nope.
team?
Deliverables have all been completed except for the county headings that we normally submit. I will say that our social media branding, especially for like 1944 Society, I used to have admin access on that social. I don't anymore. So I'm unable to change that artwork to the new brand. I had sent that out some time ago and I don't think it ever was installed.
We may have to do a screen share to figure out how I give you access to that. It was also the 94 Society, not the 44 Society.
Well, I just said the words wrong. My bad. But yeah, it's that other social group that's for our paid monthly members.
Okay.
At least you didn't say MILF.
Yeah.
I did not say that. No.
But yeah, we may need to do a screen share so that I can figure out how to give you access because you're talking about it in Canva, right?
No, on Facebook to change the actual group
Oh.
heading. So our brand is
okay.
correct. I had submitted new artwork that had the new logo and was unable to access that. And I had have access in the past, I think, with the new
for the group and the Facebook page, or just one or the other?
the group.
Okay, the group.
But
Okay,
doesn't matter to me. Someone else can do that for the next year anyway.
I'll add you. Okay, any questions about branding? Okay, hearing none. Moving on to the comms social. Basically talked about that already. Comms team, social team's been doing a great job getting lots of engagement, including good positive engagement, but then also a lot of people angry that the state party is talking about things that the state party's been talking about since it was founded in 1974. Sorry you didn't get the memo on what our platform is and has been for generations. But yeah. No time on the gaming national convention booklet. We have our first meeting for that scheduled for December 1st. Is that correct? Am I right on that, Ms. Dusbach, Secretary Dusbach? It's December 1st.
That's the email I got.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So we don't have anything to report back yet because that'll be the first meeting for that. Any questions about the booklet, national convention booklet at this time? Okay, hearing none. Moving on to the policy manual. Again, our first meeting for the policy manual team is, I don't know what date it is, but we haven't had
Should be December 3rd.
December 3rd. And then it's going to be, it's the first Wednesday of every month.
Well, I think what we had decided via email was that we will have these first initial meetings for the convention booklet and for the policy manual and determine what the meeting schedule will look like following.
Okay. Any questions about the policy manual team? Okay, hearing none. Old business, national convention for 2026. I don't have much to report on that, other than book your hotel rooms. They're going fast. I don't think tickets are available yet. I don't know. Um, there have been some interesting people requested for speakers. There's also committees being requested. Please pay attention to those national emails. They are asking for your input. There were some interesting people who were being proposed as speakers, and they send that information out to the members and ask for them to say, what do they think? And if you don't respond, I do not want Trump on our stage, you could end up with Trump on your stage. That's just an example. His name was not thrown out there. But some people like that work. So do pay attention to that. There are committee assignments open. We get to put someone on the platform committee as a representative for the state of Indiana. I've had one person reach out to say that they want to do it because they've done it before. If you guys would like to put names together, I think we'll probably put it on the agenda for the December meeting, and maybe we'll just vote on it. Because I think I have until the end of December to state who our appointment is as the state of Indiana. That's the only automatic appointment we get. Okay, any questions about the National Convention? Okay, hearing none. The last thing on the agenda for today was the action items list that the secretary sent. I think we went through just about all of them. The only one that I remember off the top of my head that we haven't discussed was the content from the vice chair. My correction on that was he said he wanted to do that, and I encouraged him and said if he did it, we would put it out as a newsletter. So far, there's been no content written. So that's why it hasn't gone out, is because there wasn't anything to send out. What were the other items? Did all the stuff with the treasurer stuff, hit on the things with the bylaws, the policy manual, the booklet, the tech director. What was there? Is there something else that I was missing, Stephanie? Madam Dasbach? I guess I can look real quick. Hold on.
Sorry, I was reviewing the email also. I don't think so. I think everything has been addressed. So
Okay.
that's good. So yeah.
Application was on that list.
Oh,
Oh,
correct.
yeah, you're right. But I did talk about it that in the my response to it yesterday. I think the only feedback I got was from Ms. Schillings. Am I correct in that? You did send feedback, didn't you? And it was
Indeed, I
basically
did. Yes.
the confusion over the 2 pages, the application and the candidate information form, that they need to be kind of combined together. That's my recollection.
There was some of that, and then some of the details were it could all be you were asking for a headshot. There was no real place to do that. Those kind of things could be all combined. Any additional information could be there. There was some streamlining, but it would all be notated in my response.
The thing that I'm more interested in is policy questions, as well as we had talked before about having somebody signify that they would not endorse a candidate from another party as part of their application. Those are the types of things that I'm looking for. And so if we can get those before our next meeting, any wording on that, things like that, any policies that you would like to see somebody state where they stand on. Because like the one that we had talked about the smoking ban. Like, I don't think we're gonna repeal the smoking ban anytime soon. We've had it for 20 years. So things like that, if we can get that, then we can officially approve the new form, because we're supposed to do that. We've been using the same one for a long time. And so That would be great. We could do that at the next meeting. Put that on the agenda.
I would suggest that those policy points on our candidate form probably will coincide with the policy points we want to print up. Because that would be the main things we want to focus on, and we want to make sure everybody's on the same page.
That would probably be wise. So, maybe do both homework assignments would help. Okay. Candidate updates. Are there any persons who would like to give any updates on any campaigns?
As I wait for Danny to say something.
Oh, I was going to ask if you wanted me to do that or if you want to do that. Lori's campaign for Secretary of State, seeking that nomination. We had a good fundraiser at AD Jack Robinson's house. That was awesome. We did just some bourbon tasting. It was a lot of fun. Thank you, Christy, for coming down. Among others. We also had Lori was on the radio this morning up in Anderson. Go listen to that if you can. We'll have it up on the website soon. What am I missing, Lori? Besides go donate at LoriForLiberty.com.
Upcoming appearances in December for Boss Hog of Liberty.
That's right.
There's additional outreach to an Illinois radio station who wanted to have a conversation, and then possibility of working with local radio hosts that I've not appeared with yet here in Indianapolis.
So start with the RK.
It's very possible it might.
Okay. Cool. Any other candidate updates? Any other announcements?
Evan, I don't have an announcement, but I need to go back because I did not ask for October minutes to be approved.
We'll put it on the agenda for the. Wait, we didn't have October minutes.
Yes, we did. We met October.
We did. Okay.
She sent them out.
I sent them
You
out.
sent them?
Yes.
Why don't we just put it on the agenda for the December meeting to approve
Okay.
them? Is that fine?
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other announcements? Tickets for the holiday party are on the website. Please go buy your ticket. I know a couple people did. Miss Avery.
If you're not busy tonight, Rupert's Kids is having a fundraiser. I don't know if you can still buy tickets, but if you can't buy tickets, you can always make a donation. Since I didn't organize tables this year, I'm pretty sure all my loser friends are not attending.
I'm not going because I wasn't planning on being in town this weekend. So, all right. Any other announcements? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
So
Second.
moved, and it's been seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Say nay. The time is 11:26 and we are adjourned.